Page 23, the King's Court. So let's look it over and see what we're getting into here. I see it's about 4 lines long, although it's longer than that because of the DC Fine, but there's only 4 lines of music to learn. The clef signs are still treble and bass clef. We have 2 sharps in the key signature, so we're still in the key of D major. Make sure you're doing the D major scale. That gets you used to using the F sharp and C sharp. You just get used to playing in that key. You don't have to remember to sharp them. It'll just happen if you've been doing the scale. 4/4 time signature, I see quarter notes, eighth notes, dotted half notes, whole notes. Oh, everybody's here. We even have an accidental at the bottom, so we'll deal with that. Now both hands are playing together, so I'm going to take one hand at a time first to make sure I know what each hand is doing, and then I'll try and put them together. Right hand, you're starting 3rd finger on F sharp here. Remember the F sharp's in the key signature, so we're here. The position is here. So it's 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And I put in these staccatos and things later. Right now I just connect everything. So much for that. Let's go down to the 3rd line, 2nd measure. You're 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. So much for this. This is fun, isn't it? Left hand. Well, you're down 5th finger here, then put your hand here. Remember the F sharp, it's in the key signature, so it's part of the hand position. So it's 1, 2. And remember, I'm using weight to push the notes down. I don't hold the hand still and try and use the fingers. So even on the weaker fingers, the 4 and 5 fingers, since weight's pushing them down, this is easy actually. You're just lowering the hand a little bit with it. Just lower it down. 2, 3, rest. So let's go to the 2nd line, last measure. It's a D F sharp together. Just here, here, here. I'm just rotating from passing weight from this side to that side. Try and get the notes down at the same time if you can. And then for the next line, I disagree with what they're doing, but there's more than one way to do it. And there's not a right and wrong way, it's just more than one way to do it. They have you actually move in hand position to here. You're coming up 1, so now you're here. And so in the 3rd, 1, 2, 3, rest. That's it. Okay. I prefer to leave the hand where it is, and I'm just going to move the thumb up. So I'm just here in this position. I'm staying here. And when I need the F sharp or the A sharp at the bottom, then I'll move up and use 2nd finger for it that time. So I haven't moved until the A sharp, and then I come up for that. Do it any way you want. But here, I can do a 3rd finger here. And then I can use 2nd finger, 2, 3, rest, 2, no. And then in the last 2 measures, I come up for the A sharp. Different ways of fingering it. The fingering in the book is fine if that's what you want to use. Then I put the hands together, and again, I'm going to hesitate all over, I don't care. I just want to know which fingers are working together. So here at the beginning we have these, and these, and then here. With the left hand's just holding it down, rest, and then these. This is easier because you're using the same fingers, and then using the same fingers is a little easier. Now 3rd line down, depending on how you're fingering it. Here. Rest, rest, and so forth. So I put the heads together, and then I go back over it however many times it takes and slowly work out the hesitations. And really you want to get to where you can play this without looking. Even though you're moving up 1 key or whatever, you want to get to where you can feel moving 1 key. And you know where the black notes are, the black keys on and you can feel where they are. You don't have to look at them. Eventually, you want to get to that point. Then once I have that worked out, no hesitations, then I'll add in the articulation, or the expression. That's the slurs and staccatos and things. I'm hinging at the wrist. Here, just short. Rest. Rest. So just, you can read the articulation, you add them in. Now if you're doing well, and you're getting this well, and you're not struggling with it, it's okay. Then you can try a different kind of staccato here if you'd like. See, in the past all we've done is short staccatos. Well, staccato is anything that's not connected. You can have long staccatos. In other words, I could make these long staccatos here. They're separated. That's staccato. It's just a longer staccato. That's interpretation. I always start out with the short staccatos first, and then as I get to know it and I'm experimenting with the sound, I might try out a longer staccato to see if it sounds okay, if I like it better. Because a lot of times in the old medieval 1700s and before the fancy courts and all, their staccatos were not necessarily real short. Yeah. Could be, but not necessarily. So you can do short at first, but later on when you're experimenting with the interpretation, you might try out the long and see how you're doing. And then I add the dynamics. F at the beginning is forte or loud, and that's the melody. Here the melody's in the right hand at first. You're heavy, boom, boom, and left hand's light. And then in the third line, you go down to moderately loud. Mezzo forte, that's the melody. And for the first two measures, the melody is, the whole thing is melody. That's all melody. You're just playing it with both hands here. And then in the third measure, it's the right hand's melody. So this is soft. And then you get an MP, mezzo piano. Sort of soft. We're going to echo that. We're going to play it again, but softer. So the last two measures of the third line, here, moderately loud, now moderately. We're just echoing that. I mean, you could actually play it soft if you'd like. And then the third line back up to moderately loud. And the next measure, the last two measures, the melody is the quarter notes. This needs to be soft. However, that last note is melody. That's melody. We want it should sound like one hand played all of that. This A sharp is soft. Yeah, that's sort of the dynamics. As you get into it and you start feeling the music, you can adjust these dynamics a little. If you feel them a little louder and softer, it's fine. Now the speed, it's a march beat. They said, think of people walking to this left, right, left, right. Now the DC al fine, remember DC means go back to the beginning, and al fine, the fine is at the end of the second line. So you're going to do all four lines and then go back and do the first two lines again. That's all. Remember the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel these 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way through. Let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any louds and softs. I will do the staccatos and slurs, and we will do the DCL fine. This is just to check that you have the correct notes and rhythms. Is all this is for. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. 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 3 to the beginning.